Hi, I'm Sharna Langley, and I am going to share a Reiki healing transmission to help you work with the integration and acceptance of shadow parts. So just taking a moment to close your eyes and get comfortable wherever you might be. If you're reclining or laying down, that's typically ideal. Feeling into the back of the body, all the places that are touching a surface. Really just kind of gently leaning in, allowing yourself to come into a space of gentle relaxation. When we work with shadow parts, we're frequently working with contraction. We feel tight and triggered when those shadow parts come up. So what I'm really going to invite you to do before we start with the healing is to just really begin to find those places where there are tension, anywhere you might be currently contracted. And you can contract all of the muscles in the body for 10 good seconds and then release them. Or you can just notice the places that are actively feeling contracted and just kind of gently start to open those spaces and places up. I'm going to have you make sure your chin is tilted up a little bit to allow for some flow of energy to come from the throat into the heart, and maybe expanding the shoulders so the shoulder blades are back so you're able to get some more opening into this heart area. This is one of the predominant areas, the heart center, where we work with integration of shadow parts, because heart is responsible for gratitude and love, and particularly self-love. So when we're working with the shadow, we are working on integrating, accepting, and loving that shadow part. We're not trying to silence it, shut it up, or kick it out. Those are all ways that we get more intensification of the shadow. So as you start to close your eyes and just get really comfortable in the body, I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness into your heart. And if you'd like, you can place a hand at your heart. And I'm also going to invite you to come down into your sacral chakra, which is right below the belly button. And you can place the other hand there. And I'm going to begin by sending Reiki energy into the heart and sacral areas. The sacral chakra is where we tend to hold trauma. It's also where we hold emotion and relationship issues. So when we're working with the shadow, we're often working with those unpleasant emotions that the shadow part brings up. And we're also working with our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with others. So I'm going to beam some energy simultaneously to the heart and to the sacral. And I'd like you to take 3 big, deep inhales and exhales as I'm doing this. And I'd like you to settle into a place where you can kind of envision a very dark cave sort of in front of you. And inside of this dark cave are all the shadow parts that are living in darkness inside of you right now. And instead of going into the cave, which is another way we can work with this imagery, we're going to invite or ask for the shadow parts to come out of the cave. And just noticing if a part or two starts to show up, that wonderful metaphor. And we are going to beam Reiki energy directly to that shadow part. So it's moving into your heart and into your sacral chakra. And then that energy is beaming into the body, into those places where the shadow lives. So the shadow part receives direct healing energy here. And we also are sending Reiki into the cave itself. So into that area where all the parts of the shadow are still not seen. And if no shadow parts came out, that's totally okay. This energy is still penetrating in to those places where we can start to soften the trigger that the shadow feels. And so really starting to allow your heart to open, the sacral chakra to open. And if emotion begins to come up, oftentimes we will find intensification of emotion with the shadow parts, allowing whatever releases feel comfortable and accessible to you. Crying, Sometimes laughing happens. If anger comes up and out, you can make fists and release it. You can brush down the arms and the hands, letting this energy go. And we are going to beam beautiful golden and green colored healing light into the cave, around the cave, into the heart and into the sacral. So receiving into these places. I'm going to have you take another breath. Noticing the body. I'm now going to begin to sweep some energy away. So what happens when we clear and we heal in this way is energy comes up. So I'm going to begin now to just gently start to clear some of the unpleasant emotions and sensations that may be coming up. And we're going to clear those just to start out and around the larger energetic field. And then I'm going to go ahead and move a little bit more closely into the heart and the sacral. And this is just a gentle brushing. I'm not going in and digging anything out, just kind of gently allowing the emotions that are coming up to start to move away. Maybe take another breath, allowing the self to receive. Now, if the shadow part feels really resistant to this, which sometimes happens, you can take a step back. You can move away from the cave. We don't want to force with the shadow parts. We want to integrate and allow. And this comes with and from the energy of acceptance. So I'm back to beaming at your heart and your sacral. And we're going to add a little shimmery shower of golden energy to come around the contours of your skin. So this is coming from life force energy, God, the universe, whatever your word is for that higher power. And as it shimmers and moves all around the contours of the skin, just kind of feeling a gentle showering of relaxation coming into the body. It's okay to not have to contract when these shadow parts come up. Take another breath. And as these shadow energies, the challenging parts of these energies clear away, I'm going to invite you to envision that gold color begins to sort of gently stick to that first and second layer of your auric field. So it's going to add some lightness and some brightness to your field. And the mantra I'd love for you to invoke and work with for the rest of the healing is either I accept and integrate my shadow parts, or I am working on accepting and integrating my shadow parts. We all kind of operate differently in terms of how mantras best serve us. So you want to be working with a mantra that feels the most resonant to you. So I'm dropping now down into the root chakra and doing just a little Reiki healing here around trust and safety. So our shadow parts are developed when we haven't felt safe. So they serve a function for us. Often our shadow is trying to somehow protect us. And when we were younger, we maybe didn't have the skills or the capacity, the resources to remove ourselves from situations that weren't good for us. So we built and created these shadow parts to fulfill a role. So shadow also lives down here at the root, and you can feel your root chakra moving straight down into the ground. And maybe actively releasing any old mechanisms around safety and control that are no longer serving you, and you can use this Reiki healing to just gently invite those to be released. And then I'm beaming again back towards the cave, back towards these shadow parts. We're going to put a really gentle green colored cocoon all around this cave where the shadow lives. And you can reactivate this color green anytime your shadow part feels like it needs a little healing, a little integration. And so you can even envision that beautiful green color around this cave. Anytime you want, you can just think of that green surrounding the cave. Breathe into some of this healing energy and allow for even more gentle integration of your shadow part. Continuing to work here at the root chakra for a few more moments. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up by putting a gentle white light shield or filter all around your energetic space. It's always a nice thing to do after we've completed a healing. Just allows any energies that are not for our highest and best good to bounce off, and all those loving, good, healing energies can come and penetrate in. And backing out of your energetic space now and thanking you for allowing me to share this healing with you. I would love to read in the comments any awarenesses, any sensations that you may have had as a result of the healing, any questions you might have about shadow work. And in coming weeks, I'll be also releasing a guided meditation to meet and work more deeply with your shadow. So you can look for that soon. Thank you all so much for sharing this healing with me and sending you all so much love and brightest blessings.